What's happening, guys? How's it going? Founders Field Notes episode 19. 19. That's the first time I've gone into one of these knowing what number we're on. Anyway, I'm going to keep it really short and punchy because I've got multiple things to be getting on with today, including a mediation phone call with a court case. I took someone to court, right? And they said they wanted to go to a mediation. And I was like, okay, I'll go to a mediation because I'd rather squash things than waste my energy. And that's what I want to talk about, energy. Everybody has a certain amount of energy, right? If you're like me and you're quite energetic, you've got quite a lot of energy, right? Or high energy. And by the way, guys, these videos, right, they are just my notes to self. This is not me trying to be like some sort of authority and tell you how you should do things. This is just me explaining the things that I'm learning as I'm going along. If you're like me and you're a high energy person, where your energy goes is quite important. And if you're not careful, like me, not that I'm careful, I mean, if I do it wrong quite often, is that I can focus on something and all of my energy goes there. So for example, when I stopped being a musician, I had nothing else to do creatively. So I was just in the gym all the time. And I ended up like becoming like a competitive GPC powerlifter. I never intended for that to happen. It's just what happens when you have X amount of energy and nowhere to put it. It goes in all these weird directions. It's been the same in other aspects of my life. If I've got nothing to put my energy into, it goes haywire. It will be women or, hobbies or whatever, right? But if you've got goals, like especially related to business, then you want to make sure your energy is going in the right places. So this isn't me, but let's say this is like someone else. Let's say this is George. Like we've got our guy George. Here he is. There's George. And George has got, he's got his family, right? And he's got his business. And he's got his hobbies, right? Let's say George is like well into his golf, and he's really into it, right? Now, George has got like a certain amount of energy, right? Let's do it like let's make it look like a battery, like this, right? He's got X amount of energy to spend on these things, right? And you could argue, depends who you are, but you could argue that these should be sort of like equal, right? He should put X amount of energy here, X amount of energy here, and X amount of energy here. But what happens is, if you're not monitoring where you're spending your energy, it will start going onto other things. Like, I don't know, your phone or like social media, right? That's a fucking big waste of energy, and we've all done it, right? Let's say like women or chasing girls, or let's say it's like drink, right? Down the pub boozing, or like it could be like hanging out with bad friends, right? And like if you're not careful, what I've noticed is some of these things, they end up being magnets, right? And these will suck your energy, right? And it kind of goes like this, like these take energy from you, right? Like this. Whereas some of these, the pursuits that you're really into that give you, like bring you like energy, they can give you energy, right? So when your business is going well, it gives you energy. When your family is all good and, it can give you energy. When your hobbies, like you can energize you. So it's really worth, let's highlight that there, because I think that's quite a good analogy, right? Certainly this has been the case for me anyway. It's really worth like auditing what is giving you energy and what's taking away energy, where you want like your energy to go. And because what happens is when you put your energy into the right things, like here, it becomes this kind of like cycle, this like positive cycle where energy, like sort of like you get this immense momentum and stuff when you're doing this stuff. When you do the opposite with all this shit, it kind of like wears you down. It drains your battery right down. Do you know what I mean? Now, how you audit your energy is up to you, right? Like I can't, and no one else can tell you that stuff. You have to ask yourself those questions, and you have to consider all of these things yourself. But where you spend your time and your energy is really important, and it's worth paying attention to. And the reason I bring this up is because I've wasted a huge amount of energy and time over the years on things like my phone, right? On like women, not on drink, but hanging out with like maybe the wrong people. Sometimes I have to monitor like my hobbies, like with the jiu-jitsu, for example, because I can put all my energy into that, and then there's very little left for like my work stuff or something like that. So even with the good stuff, you've got to be aware. So this is just like a mental note on energy and where to put your energy. And, you know, I'm asking myself this question today because, you know, I'm going into this mediation, and there's going to be a court case at the end of the year if it's not settled at mediation. And I'm like, do I want to go to court? Do you know what I mean? Is court one of these things for me? It's not. I want to be building my business. I want to be getting better at my hobbies. I want to be like, you know, building my body. These are the things I want to do. Anything that's not serving that, I kind of want to just completely disregard. That's my challenge to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments box below. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I drop 2 videos every week, and the next one will be my vlog on Sunday. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.